What's good to the tribe? Went back on old PDFs and came across this one. The Ghost, Men of the Woodlands. And I'm just going to jump around a little bit. If you guys want to, you can stop and pause the video and read through. I'm not going to drop the whole PDF. I think I'm going to do this in parts just because it's so much in these couple pages. Let's get it. Anciently, the Siouan-speaking groups originated in the Ohio Valley. They began moving to the Piedmont of Virginia around 800 AD, possibly following migrating buffalo herds in the direction they went. It says the Siouan groups migrated north and west into the Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin areas. It says some moved west to the Great Plains and stayed in the Ohio River Valley, between the Licking River and Ohio River. It says the Ho-Chunk as a Siouan-speaking tribe and sometimes credited with the effigy mounds into the Wisconsin area, as well as originating in the pre-Columbian Ohio River Valley. James Mooney concluded that the Siouan-speaking tribes originated in the Ohio Valley based on his studies. And that's through language. So we know they migrated out from the Ohio Valley. It says the Great War between the northern Iroquoian, Algonquin, and the southern Muskogean tribes sandwiched and pressured a large group of Siouan speakers eastward into the forest, westward into the Great Plains, and northwest into the deeper portions of the Great Lake regions. It says, when Jamestown was founded in 1607, most, dodge the hijack, American Indians in the eastern and northern forces had evolved confederacies and chiefdoms to strengthen and share in protection and resources. The Powhatan Confederacy was an example of a complex chiefdom which was highly stratified. The Monacan Confederacy, along with the Tulo-Saponi confederacies, were different in that they had no centralized government at the time. But it says, begins to taste European trade relations with Spain. Changes in government likely. And it's more than likely it happened through disease spreading around and intertribal conflict. So, but it's just so many different gems and hijacks in this PDF. And we're going to go over a bunch of them. It says, Tulo-Saponi linguistic branch out of Ohio Valley Siouan speakers. It says the names of these towns are recorded in the Algonquin language of the Powhatan Sept, which the Powhatan called Mohitan, is associated with another town of the tribe. And it says there were 4 key southeastern Siouan alliances affecting the Saponi. The Monacan Confederacy. You can see the Tulo Confederacy. And just a couple other with the Catawba name with it. You can also see about the mountain. So when you read it, they have copper trades in the Blue Ridge Mountains, which you can see here. How awesome was that? The famine by drought at the time, the demands of the mission for food, and constant conversation attempts perhaps caused the Powhatan to kill the priest, thinking that it would end the drought at a test of self-sacrifice for the Jewett god. It says the Powhatan took the opportunity in 1607 to establish a treaty with the English in order to break, I guess, the copper trade. So they already were plotting on them. They didn't want them to trade their copper, which they had been doing for time and time. I just can't wrap my head around that. You're making treaties in order to stop the trading of copper along Indians, which that will make you basically how they tried to do us with the land. You have to make a treaty to get us off the land, so you make a treaty to break copper trading and things like that. It wasn't going good, so they were sacrificing their priests because nothing was happening. It says the town was the Tutelo-Saponi language, and Powhatan would have probably known as the Algonquin name for the Occaneechi town. Occaneechi. A lot of you guys are Occaneechi. I'm Occaneechi too, with Catawba. But we're going to get in to what they say about this family that actually lived out there and the hijacks that are actually with it. It said it had been spoken of a place where people lived English-style houses and used brass housewares along with their other European manufactured items. It says this family had been among them for about 7 years, which would have placed their arrival in the area about 1607, the founding date of Jamestown Colony. 1607 plus 7. Which is 1614. The narrative goes to state that the family had a Negro that they sent to live with the Nesquik of the Neuse River, perhaps in order to become a translator on a route line of communication with Spanish Florida or the interior trade with surrounding tribes. So let me get this right. You sent a Negro, which Negroes you call Africans, which was a slave, to live among tribes. So let's look into this tribe, the Nesquik tribe. And just a little bit of history, you can go Google it yourself and go through. By 1654, the Spanish family that lived in the Occaneechi town had about 30 members of their family, including about 7 Negro slaves, as per a report given by a Tuscarora chief. So I'm just not understanding, say he was there 16, 17, when African slaves got here in 1619. So it's just a little weird to me. What slaves were these? What people can you send to other tribes to blend in? What people can you have speak the languages and things like that? No African is going to understand American Indian dialect. So this right here is the Nesquik people, or a drawing they did, which you know, I've said before in videos, we lived in longhouses, not teepees. They were for traveling. Longhouses. And look at these people that are in this village in this drawing. The tribe. Very dark. And just look at their day-to-day, what they're doing. But I love you guys. Feathers up, tribe up, wise up, rise.